Assalamu alaikum and greetings to you all. This is Sabina Victor, and today I am here with a special topic which I feel is important for the teachers and educators of the 21st century. And the name of this topic is Creating Inclusive Classrooms. So let me begin with my presentation. Now, this is a brief introduction about myself. I am the CEO of Impart Learning to Excel and Grow. I am an educationist with 22 years of experience in the education field. I am an experienced teacher trainer with certifications from International Internship University India, UNESCO MGI, Teach and Seek. I am currently working as a lead trainer for a teacher training project in Interior Sindh by Sindh Education Foundation. I am a winner of international awards, and this year I have been awarded twice. First, I have received an International Excellence Award by Global Education Network, and on September 5th, 2024, I received the Teacher Gratitude Award by International Internship University, India. I am representing Pakistan at international educational platforms such as Global Forum for Teacher Educators, Global Education Network, and I am an Open Pakistan alumna for Relo Pakistan, which is a public affairs section of US Embassy, Islamabad. So moving on, I have an icebreaker activity for you all. And the name of this activity is Embracing Uniqueness. Now, in this particular activity, I want you to write 3 unique facts about yourself. All right. And when I say unique facts, I mean things which are special in you, which others don't possess. All right. And I would appreciate if you write your comments on the YouTube channel, or you can share it with me as a screenshot on WhatsApp. All right. So let's move to the powerful message of this activity. So you see, there was a purpose why I had created this particular activity, and I shared it in my presentation. The message is that we have similarities and differences, but always remember our presence in the classroom makes the classroom itself stronger and inclusive. All right. So I move now to the definition of inclusive classrooms. Now, over here on the slide, I have mentioned the definition of inclusion. But before that, I want to share with you the history of inclusive education. And then I will come to the details of inclusive classrooms. All right. So inclusive education signifies the proclamation, I quote, children who learn together learn to live together, unquote. It indicates that education of all children, regardless of strengths and weaknesses. The major effort was put in 1994 at the World Conference of Special Needs in Education at Salamanca. And the conference had recommended the principle of inclusion in the words, I quote, schools should accommodate all children regardless of their physical, intellectual, social, emotional, linguistic, or other condition. Now I come to the definition of the word inclusion. Now, inclusion in classroom means that all children are welcomed, no matter what race, religion, or ethnic learning style, or what abilities they have, no matter where they belong, they all are welcomed in the classroom. And these children have equal opportunities to be educated, to feel safe, valued, and respected. At the same time, I would like to add here, inclusion in classroom is critically important because it fosters each child's sense of belonging, feeling of being seen, understood for who they are, and their inherent value as a human being. Inclusive classrooms empower children to grow and thrive as confident individuals, not just as students during their time in education system. Inclusive practices in education examines how lessons, programs, classrooms, educational institutions are constructed. Inclusive education means creating an atmosphere where all children have the opportunity to participate and learn. And it proposes that all children have a right to the same education. All right. So now I move on to the importance of inclusive classrooms. Now, the first point is it promotes diversity, equity, and social justice. Number two, it recognizes that every student is unique and has different learning needs. It seeks to create an environment that is responsive to those needs. Number three, it helps to build a sense of community and belonging among students, which can lead to better academic and social outcomes. Number four, it promotes a positive learning environment that values diversity, encourages collaboration and teamwork. Number five, it develops empathy, understanding among students, which can lead to a more inclusive and accepting communities. Next, I move on to the characteristics of inclusive classrooms. Now, the first point is recognizing and accepting diversity. Now, diversity is one important law of nature. Recognition and acceptance of individual differences are fundamentally important. These differences are respected and adequate measures for education of such children are adopted. Number two, education is a fundamental right of all individuals. Now, individuals can have equal opportunities to get an education. No one can be debarred from enjoying his or her right to equality or to get education. Number three is acceptance and support to children having special personal and educational needs. Now, this feature is meant for those people who have special needs due to disabilities. Their physical and intellectual conditions are accepted and supported. The optimum development of their potential. Next is teaching strategies and curriculums are flexible. Now, the curriculum in inclusive education is very flexible, especially in meeting the individual and educational needs of disabled children. Accommodation in teaching strategies and curriculum enhances children's experiences with academic activities and life, and it helps them to achieve their desired goals. Number five, closer link between general and special education. Now, by the adoption of inclusive approach, special education in terms of special classes or special schools have been included to the general approach of education. Number six, involvement of parents and community. Now, for an ideal inclusive uh, educational programs, there must be a strong parent-teacher group. Involvement of parents is essential, especially in cases of handicapped children. Next, I come to is a child-centered approach. Now, in inclusive education, a child has a pivotal place in education system which fulfills the basic theme of education. That is educational planning, policies, curricula, teaching techniques, curriculum, co-curricular activities of a school should be centered around the needs of a child. And lastly, it strengthens the general education system. Now, the purpose of inclusiveness is to make the school and educational institution ideal places of education, where children with disabilities are also a part of it. Okay, now I move on to the inclusive classroom strategies. Now, the first one is define clear minimum standards for behavior. Now, every child in your class should be absolutely clear about what the minimum basic acceptable levels of behavior are. These should there should be rules that are thought of and agreed by you and your class. Once agreed, why not ask children to sign a class contract to make sure they understand that class rules are everyone's responsibility to follow? You might even like to let children be involved in creating the classroom rules display. Now, keep the language short and simple so that everyone understands them. Try not to make these rules about learning, but ensuring everyone feels safe and respected. Now, I am going to share some examples of classroom rules which you can make with your students. The first one is be kind. Second is keep your hands and feet to yourself. Number three, use kind words or at all times. Number four, always respect the property of others. Number five, everyone has the right to feel safe and respected. Number six, everyone has the right to express themselves and be listened to. Number two, deal with low levels of disruption in a sensitive way. Now, it is not wise to write a child's name who keeps calling out on the board. This is an insensitive way of dealing with an issue. It makes a child prominent or visible in front of everyone. If you keep writing a child's name on the board, why would they choose to change their behavior, which is quite natural? Now, this step is considered humiliating and not inclusive. Your step can lower that child's self-esteem, self-respect, and also make him or her a victim of bullying, especially for those children who dislike him or her. If you write a child's name on a piece of paper, they know that they have misbehaved. Give them the opportunity to stop and change their behavior without further consequence. Number three, create opportunities to listen to all children. Now, when a conflict arises in your class, then give students a chance, especially those who were fully involved, to explain how they believe the incident arose, as well as what has upset them and why. Create day-to-day opportunities during normal lessons and learning for children to be listened as well. This helps them to feel a part of your class and it makes them active participants in activities. Now, number four is develop a scaffold approach to learning. Now, scaffolding means giving support so that all students can access the same learning. Scaffolding is essential for creating an inclusive learning environment. Your purpose is all students should know the same information instead of activities that are entirely different to those you have planned for the rest of the class. Why not plan activities with the same objectives and outcomes, but scaffolding activities to suit the children's needs? Number five, be aware of specific needs of every child in your class. As a teacher, it is very important for you to know if your students have specific needs, such as students who are being looked after by caregivers, who live in orphanages, or those who are studying English as an additional language. Now, knowing these will help you to consider every aspect of your classroom and make your students feel safe, respected, and welcomed. Now, number six is provide support for them in ways that benefit all children in your class. Now, some inclusion strategies are beneficial for all students. They are worth doing in every classroom. Now, for example, many children with dyslexic traits struggle to read pure black text on a pure white background. Change the colors of your slides. Avoid black on white can help not only dyslexic children but all students to read. All right. Avoid using bright colors because it makes them struggle to view and read. So next point I come to is number seven, use pre-assessment to inform your planning. Now, don't assume what your children already know or don't know when you are planning a new topic. Taking a pre-test of their prior knowledge and interests around the topic shows them you have listened to their curious questions and have included it in the syllabus. It's a powerful tool for inclusion in the classroom. And lastly, don't compare the progress of one child to another. Personal progress is the key to success. Now, for children with special needs, comparison with others can be disheartening. Don't do this. Focus on their personal progress and encourage them to do the same. Use positive sentences or words such as, do better than you did the last time? What did you find tricky or confusing? Let's work on that. Teach children to identify their own shortcomings or areas of improvement. Tell them it is all a part of learning. At the same time, I would also like to add, never compare the academic progress of one child with another. All children have different learning styles and they learn at their own pace. Some are quick learners while others can be slow learners, or they can struggle to understand concepts or topics. We need to encourage all of them to excel academically, no matter at what pace they are learning. And we need to be patient with such children. All right. So now I move to is the conclusion. Now, in conclusion, I would like to say inclusivity in classroom is essential for fostering a supportive, respectful, and effective learning environment. Every student has a right to access a quality education that meets their individual needs. Building an inclusive classroom requires intentional effort, but the positive impact on students and the school or community is transformative. So this brings my entire session on creating inclusive classrooms to an end. I would encourage you to please share the activity on embracing uniqueness on WhatsApp. And I hope you apply these inclusive strategies in your classroom. And once again, I wish you all the best for your future endeavors. Take good care of yourselves. Goodbye and Allah Hafiz.